Hello, I am naturalist Katie, and today I am taking you on a guided hike. So if you're ready to learn, come along with me. Our first stop is one of 3 on North Park's self-guided geology tour. In the span of a couple miles in North Park, you can discover millions of years of geologic time. Pennsylvania has changed much over time, and there was a time when it was in a tropical region near the equator, when it was covered with a shallow sea that led to the production of limestone with marine fossils, or when sea level rose and ancient river channels deposited sediment leading to the formation of sandstone, or when the climate was hot and dry, leading to the production of shales. Rock layers are formed by deposition over time, meaning that the lowest layers are going to be the oldest. And then water comes through and cuts through all these rock layers, forming beautiful valleys like what we see here. This plant in front of us is a plant known as a liverwort. Liverworts are in a group of plants known as bryophytes, which are ancient. Bryophytes were the first land plants to evolve about 500 million years ago. And they're quite interesting in that they are non-vascular plants, meaning that they don't have internal pipes to carry things like water and nutrients throughout. They also don't have roots, and instead have hair-like structures called rhizoids, which help anchor them to unique surfaces like rocks, what we're seeing right here. Bryophytes go through 2 completely separate and very unusual life stages. What we're seeing right now is known as the gametophyte stage. As this plant matures, it will want to reproduce and does so by sending a sperm to an egg. However, that sperm can only make it to an egg by using water to travel there. Once that egg is fertilized, it then will go into the next life stage known as the sporophyte. The sporophyte contains spores, which then can help grow a new liverwort. However, those spores can only travel using water and also need to land in a moist environment to be able to grow a new plant. So although these were some of the first land plants to evolve, it is clear that they still need water to reproduce, which is why you'll often find them in moist environments like what we're seeing right here underneath of a cliff. What you see behind me is part of the Saltsburg Sandstone Formation, which is basically fossilized river channel deposits. This site is not only geologically significant, but also historically significant. Between 1979 and 1980, this site was excavated by archaeologists who found evidence of human habitation dating back as far as 3000 BC. Anthropologists theorize that this site would have been used by indigenous people as a hunting camp. They came down to the area to seek out animals like bear, deer, turkey, rabbits, and many of the things that we see around here today. The site would have been perfect not only because of its natural shelter from the elements, but also its proximity to water. A 1979 article in the Pittsburgh Press describes it as yesterday's litter, today's treasures, as trash left behind by indigenous people actually helped tell us a lot about the history of the region. Artifacts found included things like spear points, cutting and scraping tools, and flint fragments. And actually, according to county officials, this was the first northeastern United States archaeological dig that was open to the public. You could actually come here between 1979 and 1980 and watch archaeologists excavate this site and find all of those awesome artifacts. If you are in a stream valley like this, you may hear an unusual bird song, and perhaps it is the Louisiana water thrush. The Louisiana water thrush is a migratory bird that spends most of its time in Central and South America and seeks out clean streams with steep hillsides just like this for its breeding season here in Pennsylvania. So the Louisiana water thrush can be identified by its butt bobbing motion. Actually, its scientific name refers to this, Parkesia motacilla, with motacilla meaning tail wagger. So when you see these birds and you see their butts dipping in the water, you might wonder why they're doing that. And scientists theorize that this is actually to help them keep from scaring off their prey. So what exactly do Louisiana water thrush eat? Well, they eat macroinvertebrates, which are the bugs that live in beautiful streams like this. A lot of species of macroinvertebrates actually require high quality and clean water, meaning that a Louisiana water thrush appearing in a valley like this in North Park tells us that our streams are quite clean. Louisiana water thrush are very territorial birds and can have territories as small as 295 feet of stream and as big as 4,800 feet of stream. Because these birds are so sensitive to things like habitat and forest fragmentation, as well as water pollution, them arriving in this valley is a harbinger of an excellently functioning ecosystem. Another creature that loves clean streams like this are amphibians. Amphibians are organisms like frogs, toads, newts, and salamanders that seek out moist environments to live. They love moisture because amphibians either partially or entirely breathe through their skin, and that moisture helps them absorb more oxygen. In the case of salamanders, not only do they love their environment to be moist, but they can also produce that moisture themselves. Salamanders secrete a mucus that helps them absorb oxygen through their skin. And that mucus also helps them fight off bacterial infections and makes them nice and slippy so that hungry predators can't grab onto them. They're also able to secrete toxins, meaning certain species of salamanders are deadly if bit even just a little bit by a predator. And if all that isn't cool enough, salamanders are able to regenerate limbs. Scientists are fascinated by this, and they wonder how they can reverse engineer this regenerative process to see if they can apply it to humans in the case of things like brain and spinal cord injuries. So I know we love our amphibians, and it's really tempting to grab onto a salamander. However, you should never touch amphibians as they can absorb oils from your skin through theirs, meaning that even those natural oils could be deadly for them. So simply appreciate our amphibians from a distance and understand that their presence here tells us that our ecosystem is functioning wonderfully. Thank you so much for joining me on this guided hike of the Rocky Dell Valley. I hope you had some fun and learned a little something, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.